start off the panel discussions. And of course, as you see to my left and right, we have a number of cosplay characters in full costume. We're going to talk about how that came to be. Also, you know, my friend over here with the 501st and really the importance of what the 501st does. And really, let's and if you want to talk to him after this panel discussion, they are up on the second floor right next to Andrew Nelson, Kyle Pyshek, and then Amy Allen as well. So we have kind of a Star Wars row as well right in front of those concession stands. So let's start it off with the good work that the 501st does and how long you've been involved with it.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. How are you? First off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Anthony, and I have been with the 501st for 11 and a half years now. Yeah. And in that 11 and a half years, I have pretty much done a lot and have seen a lot. And I've gone everywhere from Reno all the way down to LA, and I've seen it all. And I've met some amazing people. It's probably one of the better decisions that I've ever made in my hobbies. So it's really, really great. Today, we'll talk about the 501st. I'm not sure if anybody you know really what we do, but what we do as a whole is we help organizations raise money. That's what we do. Whether it be for cancer, ALS, diabetes, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, you name it, we do it. And every single one of us is a volunteer. Nobody gets paid for this. So really, in the end, if you see these guys, take your picture with them. They love it. There's no charge, none at all. Aside from that, if you want to be a Stormtrooper, you want to be a clone, a Tusken Raider, Sand People, it all depends on your skill set. I mean, if you have any kind of craftiness, mechanically inclined, I mean, if you're good with needles, sewing, you can do this. If you've ever built model cars or a model plane, you can do this. If you've ever gone up to a sewing machine and stitched up something, you can do this. Painting, it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, you just go and you paint it. Unfortunately, some of the things that you do are a little intricate, and hopefully the things that you paint are really great, really, really great. So we'll start off here today with our Tusken Raider, Sand People. Some of the things that you need to be a Tusken Raider is obviously the helmet, all of the greeblies that go with it, the eyes, the spikes, his cloaks, his bandolier across his chest. And the way you get this weathered, distressed, or make it look like it's been somewhere. Some guys have gone so far as to use the Reddit dye and just let them soak in it for about a day or two. You take it out and it's dirty. Some guys have gone so far as to just throw it on the ground and get it dirty. You could do however you want. However, his blaster, it's one of those things that it's nice to have, but you don't need it. But it kind of gives it the more visual effect of being in the Star Wars universe. And all of this is fairly easy to do. I mean, really, it's just your bandolier, your robes, and the helmet. You can buy and or print your blaster as you need it. Over here, we have a Stormtrooper from the original trilogy. This is all ABS plastic, vacuum formed. Most of this, you don't really need to do a whole lot to it, except maybe just glue it together. There's some little parts that you have to paint. Other than that, it's really not much to it. It's really great. It's very noticeable. Again, with this costume right here, we call it armor. With this armor set right here, the only thing that is nice to have but not needed is a blaster. Everything else you see on him is what you need to be this Stormtrooper. There are many different types of costumes that Stormtrooper costumes that you can wear by different makers. And the way I explain it to you is that they're all Volkswagen, because I like Volkswagen. They're all Volkswagens, but you have your GTIs, your Jettas, and your Passats, and your CCs, but they're all stormtroopers. They're all the same. Next is a clone. So this here is a Phase 2 clone. Here is a Phase 1 clone helmet, and that's the only difference. And again, with the clone, that is all vacuum formed plastic. There's a little bit more involved with this one. Although this guy right here has printed his, really nice, a lot of work, but it can get done. Others are vacuum formed to make this, and even though it's white, you still have to paint it white. Some of the requirements that we have for clones are a little strict. So if you're using red, you can't just use stoplight red. It has to be like a banner red. And there is a shade difference. I say it to you because I did it wrong, and I had to go back and repaint it because I used the wrong shade of red. It happens. You'll have his blue tube stripes. And again, with this costume right here, blasters are not needed, but they're nice to have. He also carries DC-15S carbine and the DC-15S long rifle. Other things that are nice to have, and it's kind of like could you really use it, is fans that are inside. It just helps push stale air around, but it helps for your lenses not to fog up. Otherwise, you're following somebody that's right in front of you, and all you see is a shadow, and that's all you get. The hearing and visibility in these things are awful. That's why we always have somebody with them. Say, I want to take a picture with you, and they don't hear it. The handler is what we call them. They are more than happy to take the phone from you and take your picture with them. That's the best thing to do. It's really great to do this, and there are forums that you can go to reference all of these. Here is the Crate Clan. I will show you, if you guys want to come up to our table, I'll show you how to get there. For the Stormtrooper, it's called the FISD, First Imperial Stormtrooper Detachment. For the clones, it's called the Clone Trooper Detachment. So if you ever want to be a clone, go to that forum, and everything you need for the clone is going to be there. Same thing for the Stormtrooper, same thing for the Tusken Raider, Sand People.
And Anthony, I might add that when they get the different costumes or armor, it is actually not painted. So if you look at the far right, it is actually not painted. All these individuals have painted, this themselves.
Yes, every single one of us has gone through all of the process of taking something like this, raw, cast, and undone, to a fully finished helmet. You get your Stormtrooper kits that look like this, and it's going to be up to you to turn this into this. There are great tutorials on YouTube to help you, but there is a large presence of us here in town, Sacramento. I mean, we are all over the place. We cover everything from the north end of Bakersfield all the way up through Reno. There's a lot of us. So if you ever get stuck, if you decide to do this and you ever get stuck, just reach out and we will help you. We either message each other, or a member will open up their home and have what we call armor parties. So if you're stuck with your kit and you don't know how to, you can't get your head in there, so what do I do? I will tell you how to do it, just like that. But that's what the armor parties are for. You bring all of your stuff with you, come to the house, whose house it is, have something to eat, have something to drink, and we will talk Star Wars and help you put this thing together, mask it up, mock it up however we need to show you how to do it. For his, we'll just say his thighs, both of them. The thighs will come, one of them will come together this way, his thighs will come together this way. So for a Stormtrooper, your thighs are from inside to the outside. For the clone, it's from the front to the back. And we'll show you how to do that. And there's several different types of glues you can use. Some people will swear to that this is the one. Others will say, well, I like using this one. It's up to you. There's no wrong or right answer to it. You can use whatever you like. There's CA glue, which is kind of like super glue. There's E6000, and one of my favorites is a 2-part epoxy from Loctite, and you know they all hold up very well. And we're here to help you on your way.
Anthony, talk a little bit about the nonprofit work that you guys do and how important that is, and kind of I've talked to you over the years about the different stories you have when you go into a hospital or you go into an event, and it kind of changes people's lives, both for not only the person that you're serving, but also for the person that's in the costume. And we'll ask the two gentlemen to my right to talk about this as well if they're willing too.
So some of the things that we get to do, like I said, we help organizations raise money. We go to the hospitals, and we try to cheer up the kids as best as we can to try and get them to forget about why they're there. And for a stormtrooper to come around the corner and this little kid, whoever it is, sees him, brightens their day, and it makes everything much better that day. Everything. For some of the cancer fundraisers that we go to, it just helps people forget why they're there, and if we can cheer them up for just a little bit, it makes it all worthwhile. I will tell you that some of the hardest ones that I've got to do personally was the Make-A-Wish Foundation, where the little boy just wanted to be a Jedi for the day, and his kickoff party was having us go up there. And as soon as Vader walks around the corner, he sees him, and he just lights up. And, oh my God, that is like the best feeling in the entire world. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't. To go to some of the other things that we've done is just very gratifying. Very, very gratifying. And we all do this volunteer. We all show up. And there were times when the weather is not nice to us, and it's 107 degrees outside, and we suit up to go to this birthday party for this little boy because he can't go anywhere else. And that day, the neighborhood was nice enough to allow us to suit up in their driveway, in their garages. And that made things a little tolerable for us. And I will tell you, it was very hard that day for me personally, because it was difficult to do those things. But the gratifying part, he knew that we were there for him. And that made it that much better. It's a very gratifying feeling, it really it is.
Then let's grab a couple of,
So slide over this way, guys.
I got it here. I'll put the mic next to you guys. Hey, what about your experiences in regards to the philanthropic, things that you do?
I've done several different charity walks, and I've had a few times where it is so hot out there that the fans inside my helmet just do not work. I've had sweat start at the top and work all the way to my boots, but every step of the way, it is a fun event. I love them.
And you're not leaking right now, so that's good.
Not yet. It's nice and cool in here.
Well, there you go. So we won't put you outside. Go, run around. Oh yeah. So how about you right here? Your best philanthropic.
Well, I've been a member of the 501st for almost a year now. I'm one of their newest members. It is definitely a hard task to do, getting up in armor, especially if we go out to do parades or special events such as representing for state capitol, which in 501st we are a Lucasfilm organization, so we are able to go and help out with certain events that Lucasfilm hires as well. But like Anthony said, and as my Stormtrooper friend has said, our main thing is charity organizations. We want to help people make smiles. We want to brighten people's days. We want to make people smile. That's our main thing. And yes, we are cooking his. Every time that we come in here, we leaking.
You're not leaking either, so that's good. I'll let you know if you are, by the way, and I'll keep watching, throughout the next 20 minutes or so. Now, as one of the newer members, how did you find this organization? How has been that first 3 months, 6 months? Tell us how that came to be.
So I first learned about this when I was 18 years old. I was in high school. I was very lonely. I didn't have that many friends. I was that one nerd in the back that always would like pretend that he was playing with Star Wars and stuff like that. Like I was that weird kid in the back. And then I found out about this organization that loves this kind of stuff, that makes it their passion. And like I've always loved costuming. I've always loved suiting up, dressing up. And when I learned about this organization that suits up and makes people happy, I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. So I spent the best 2 years working on my first set of armor. This is my second set. And I sent out an application thinking that, oh, I'm probably not going to get accepted to this because I don't think that this is good. And little did I know, 2 weeks later, I got an email saying, oh, congratulations, you're accepted to this group. It blew my mind. And the journeys that I've been on throughout this whole year, throughout my first year, have been some of the best memories I've had ever. I've made a lot of new friends. I've made a lot more people smile, and it's warmed my heart ever since.
Let's talk to you a little bit about the camaraderie and kind of also about, your experiences with the 501st.
Okay, well, I first joined the 501st about 13 years ago, and I have basically had an extended family being part of the group. I have friends and family all over the world, because of this. We're a close-knit group. We do all the different events, and it's just extremely fun,
Absolutely. Is there any questions out here in the audience for, either of our members here this afternoon? Yeah, go ahead.
For the clone trooper, you said you 3D printed your own?
Yes, all of this is 3D printed. A lot of people think that vacuum form is the only way that you can make armor. 3D printing has become the next backbone when it comes to making armors as well. I currently don't know how many people we have in our detachment that have made 3D printed armor, but it is very few, but the numbers are rising. There's plenty of ways you can print or sand or construct 3D armors. There's many different places that will sell files. However, there are certain ones that are not approved. So hence why we say go to our detachments, see which ones are accepted, see which ones are recommended, and go through with that. As for sanding and painting, you can sand it any way you want. Some people use a thing called Bondo. Some people just sand it as it is. It really depends on your preference, whether you want to take time with it or just want to rush through it.
Do you guys use any AI technology to kind of help you out in regards to the different things that you build out?
No, I hate droids.
There you go. See, I had to ask. There you go. That was the backhanded question on that one. So, Anthony, talk a little bit about the worldwide appeal of Star Wars and how you going to different cons and folks seeing these characters in costume as close to the movies that they see and that kind of wow factor at cons.
So, I have been fortunate enough to meet some of these people all around the world. I just looked at it the other day. There are currently 19,800 members, and there are new people coming in every day, all the time. We're in 42 different countries. We're in all 50 states. We're everywhere. And usually, you might find us walking around with our patches, our jackets, our hats, our t-shirts, and someone will come up to me, behind me, and say, oh, you're a stormtrooper. I will stop dead in my tracks, and usually I have stickers to give out for that. And to see these people light up, recognize us, it's really great, really, really great. So you can make friends easy, because you can get on their level and say, oh, yes, they're a stormtrooper, or they're a Star Wars fan. Some of the people, to know that I can go anywhere in the world and have a couch to sleep on is absolutely amazing because of this. I can go to Europe, I can go to Asia, South America, Africa. I can go anywhere Canada, and I've met these people, and these people are absolutely amazing. They truly are. And the camaraderie that we have is absolutely amazing. Even within our little group, we also get together outside of Star Wars, whether it be we'll have a bowling night, we'll just go out to dinner somewhere, go to a movie or something. You know, the camaraderie that we all have together is like family, and it's really, really great. And it's not just the 501st, but it's also the Rebel Legion, the R2 Builders, the Mando Mercs, the Saber Guilds, and the Twin Sons, I think is what they're called. Every single one of us, we all have that camaraderie together, and it's really, really great. And usually if we have stickers or patches, we all trade with each other. And if I have them, I will give them to you. If you see me out in the street, if you see any of us out in the street, we will give it to you. Just because. Because for me, to see you light up makes everything that much better. It really does.
Talk a little bit about also the droids that are also, you see here up on the second floor, and how they, are part of the universe, and folks that kind of build those out.
Some of the droids are absolutely amazing. I wish I had the skill set to build one. Really, I do, but I don't. So I generally get geeked. I've been doing this for several years now. I still get geeked out when I see R2 or Chopper. Chopper is absolutely amazing whenever I see him, and I get geeked out whenever I see him. It's awesome. Some of the other droids like R5, BB-8, I stop in my tracks whenever I see them. It's really great. Whenever I see the Mandos, like someday I'd like to be a Mando. I'm already building a Mando helmet, and it's most of my non-Star Wars clone are all going to look like this guy right here. So I have a Mando helmet that kind of looks like this guy. I have a Rebel X-Wing pilot helmet that kind of looks like this guy. We're all in this together. We all hang out together. We all know each other. And the camaraderie with the group is really great. I wish I knew more about the electronics for R2s, for all of the R2 builders. Because when they start talking to me about servos and motors and gears and adrenos, and I just like, okay, cool. You just put gas and go. No.
Any other questions out here from the audience? Yeah, go ahead.
For your events, because I'm thinking about if you guys just all team up and group up and have a large amount, what was the deepest that you guys were, or the largest that you guys have assembled?
So what is the largest group of people that have been in one place in one time?
So outside of Star Wars Celebration is the Star Wars version of Con. So it's everything and anything Star Wars. So outside of that, when we used to go to the Sacramento Zoo, now it helps when the director of the zoo is also a member. It also helps when two employees are actually members. At one point, we had over 80 members in one spot. And that is the largest group for us outside of Celebration. And that group blew up from 10 to 15 of us the first year to almost 80. And we can fill up an entire basketball gymnasium with all of us just all dressing out at the same time and then going out and meeting and greeting and taking pictures with everybody.
Just to follow up, for that event, did you know that, would you have little marches, or would you have organized kind of marches?
So we usually have all the stormtroopers together, all the clones together, all of the biker scouts together, all of the sand troopers together, and at the zoo, they would have sets they made for us. So for the biker scouts, they had a biker scout or a speeder bike, and next to a tree or something, of all things, right? For the sand people, they built a Tatooine scene for all of the snow troopers. For Empire Strikes Back, when they entered the Rebel base, and they had the E-Web cannon, they actually made an E-Web cannon. That was awesome. It's now at my house now, because they gave it to me. Yeah, that was really great. We generally keep, the different costumes together. Sometimes the clones will go off on their own and they'll just march out 2 by 2, and it looks absolutely amazing. When you get the stormtroopers all together, they look absolutely amazing. So do we keep them together? Sometimes, yes.
And as we close out the day, I just have to ask, you're at the Sacramento Zoo. Do the animals treat you guys a little bit different and kind of give you kind of the snake eye?
Unfortunately, it's one of those things where we are told animals don't like us in helmets, so we don't get to go around the animals. It is what it is. I mean, I wish I could, go take a picture with a tiger wearing a full-blown clone helmet or something, but no, we have never been able to go to the enclosures and take pictures with them.
Well, if you guys want to take pictures with these guys, you can do so on the second floor. They're right next to 3 of our artists as well, Andrew Nelson, Kyle Pychek, and also Amy Allen. So they're all on the Star Wars row, so take a picture with them, talk to them about the 501st and everything Star Wars related, and in a couple moments we'll be talking comics. So thank you guys for coming to StocktonCon, and we'll continue the panel discussions in a moment.
Any other questions you have for me or us, please come visit us at the table, and we will be more than happy to go in depth with it. Okay? Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys.